All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Weekly Stock Picks. We had an interesting week this past week with, the retail traders versus hedge funds. There's a lot of different stuff going on. Issues with Robinhood, issues with just the market in general, where it just also happens to be a time where the market is looking very shaky, and a lot of people are getting a little worried. Bulls did not win this past week. Bears definitely won. So. Just keep an eye on that. I want to thank you guys for following me on Twitter. I always try to provide you the best information I can. This year, I will be later in the year be providing more financial information education. I want to make this a one-stop shop for all your financial needs and stocks and the stock market. I want to help you guys, gain financial freedom. So more stuff will be coming. Of course, it will always be free. So I want you guys all to succeed just like I have been able to. I'm not quite at the millionaire level, but I feel like with the way things are going, I'm getting there. My strategies are working, and I want to share that with you guys. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump into that. So S&P 500, if we look here, I've already marked this out that if this is the top, and we've already started to travel down, and we're gonna have a more of a retracement here for the 61.8%. Just remember that a lot of times it's accompanied by an A, B, C pattern for the two wave that goes down. So we might see a small jump on Monday. That's a possibility, and then we see it shoot back down. So guys, be very careful. Do not lose everything you've worked so hard to earn in January and 2020. So just be careful. The markets are looking very shaky. So we did not get above that 3,800 limit, because if we did, there's a chance for somewhere in the range of 3,900 to 4,100. It looks like the top may be in. It's looking possible. There's another route where we could just shoot back up, but right now I'm leaning towards I think top may be in. I think so. Maybe we'll see. Markets will do what they want. All right, 10 shares rule. We had 3 stock picks hit their price targets. Some people small accounts always say it's hard to make money with such a small account. It is, but if you bought 10 shares of each one of these picks, so far you would have made $392, which is that's nothing to laugh at. That's a good amount of money. Highest performing stock of 2021 is Bed Bath & Beyond, 86.54% since I announced it. This was part of the short squeeze. Palantir was not. Kathy Wood from ARK Investment, she's the head investor there, and she's been buying up Palantir stocks. Great for the long run, but hey, we hit our we hit our price targets, and we exited. I made some great money on this. I know a lot of you did as well. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump into it. So, 4 stock picks of the week are NIO, Overstock.com, QuantumScape, and Silver. So I'll be discussing each one of these. As you know, I talk about the current setups, buy zones, cut loss, and price target. I provide you guys with the charts and of what I'm seeing. So if you like what I'm seeing and you want to follow along, feel free. I provide you as much information as I can. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into our first stock pick of the week. Well, first, NIO, as you know, is an EV play. It's out of China. So let's look at Tesla first. This was on my high risk, high reward pick. I wonder if it would bounce off this trend line that's been on and bounce back up. It broke the trend, so now Tesla's we're gonna have to wait and see if a new setup arrives for Tesla. But let's take a look at NIO. So if we look at NIO, it did not break its trend line support. So the support's right here. Every time it almost come back down, so it still hasn't hit this yet. It can come all the way down here, and then if it breaks, then this 5 wave is invalid. So, but right now it's looking okay. Let's take a look at the indicators. It's above. It's hovering right around the 12 and 21 day moving averages. It has not crossed the 55 day. So those are good signs. So right now it's in very, very oversold territory. So we need to kind of keep an eye on this. I could see this dipping down a little bit, but look at that. We got our first red dot here for our squeeze indicator. So signals that a big move may be coming up, shortly. So, all right, let's look at our next one, which is Overstock.com. Overstock is an interesting one. It ran like crazy for a while, and then now it's starting to climb up again. I think it hit what I would consider its wave 1, because it had the A, B, and then came down for the C. So I think this is getting ready for to go on another 5 wave, but I want us to catch it on the down of wave 2. So I think I put a pretty good buy zone here. If you want to get into this, you're going to need to be very, very patient. So just keep an eye on this one. Overstock's great company. It's done well during the pandemic. So I think it has one more run left in it. So, all right, let's look next. QuantumScape. So QuantumScape is starting to in this falling wedge pattern. So it needs to break down or break out or break down. So this is a bit of a risky one. We do have this gap above that it has not closed this window yet. So that could be a good sign. Another good sign is that if you look here, it's starting. It looks like it wants to go up. It's on an oversold territory. The squeeze indicator is heading up. We've got declining volume. We've got a lot of telltale signs that this could be shooting up in the next couple weeks. So high risk, high reward. I think if it's my buy zone, I'm going to go in. So anything in the low 40s to high 30s, I think here is a good buy, on that dip. So keep an eye on QuantumScape. So and then silver, first time I've had a metal on here. So Wall Street Bets has talked about this as a possible target for short squeeze. As you can see, it just crossed over on the MACD. Everything's heading up. It just pushed past the 50% line, and it's a little bit under the 50% line. So it's looking strong. I like the way it's looking right now. I think this is a great setup. I think we could see a nice little quick move up to above 30. So those are my 4 weekly stock picks. I like all of them. QuantumScape is probably the most risky, but it's also going to offer you the highest reward and the most money in return. So, depending on your risk level. Okay, let's look at our earnings this week. So Pfizer, I'm going to talk about Pfizer a little bit more because it's on my high risk, high reward, my honorable mention picks. So let's look at Peloton here. Peloton has earnings this week. They have been killing it. They've turned into almost a cult-like company where huge following, but the only question is they have been running hard. I mean, I bought them at $53 in my long term, and they're already up at $153. So 2020 was a great year for Peloton. More people are buying. They're backordered constantly, but if they miss on earnings, we could see a huge drop in Peloton. So it's pretty overextended. I would expect that whether it's a aggressive move up or down, I don't see this being a 2-3% move. I see this being possibly double digits here, but I just don't know which direction. So kind of an interesting one. I got a feeling Activision Blizzard, kind of big video game company. Video games are getting more and more popular every year. I think this ends up taking off. So I think this is a good one to watch. So keep an eye on that. Okay, let's go into my honorable mention picks. So first one off the bat is Pfizer. So let's take a look at Pfizer. So Pfizer's an interesting one because it's been, it's kind of climbing down. It's right now kind of fighting to get back up, but the squeeze indicator, look at this. It's got earnings this upcoming week. They just got new orders in from the government for like 200 million doses of their vaccine for coronavirus. So, if you got guaranteed money from the government, I would expect their forward guidance would be fantastic. So, but with the way that the market is, it's a little, people aren't feeling very safe as they've been. How safe will they feel about Pfizer? Will they buy in if it has good earnings, if it blowouts earnings? Will it have a huge jump? That's the question, what we're trying to find out. So I personally think Pfizer will have a good earnings. And I think, what happens after, that's up to the market to decide. So, all right, next up, Salesforce. So Salesforce, CRM. All right. So if you look here, it's got a small low gap up that it didn't fully close here. So far, it closed this gap. Indicators are showing, and as you know, it's still above a bunch of its moving averages, so that's a good sign. Above its 200-day, it never dropped below, so it's still in an uptrend. It is a little overbought, but RSI is one of the weaker indicators. Like it can, go up here, come down a little bit like this, and then pop right back up above the MACD. So it's had that bullish cross, and then look at the squeeze indicator. It's signaling that a big move's coming. So I hope that big move comes in the next couple weeks. I am heavy in Salesforce. So when this hits, man, it's going to be a nice day for me. So I really like Salesforce. I think it's a winner for the future. I may just keep this all of my shares for all of 2021 and just celebrate at the end of the year. So I just think it's a winner for 2021. All right, up next is Penn Games. So Dave Portnoy, stocks only go up. he has been like the leader of the hedge fund takedown. He's been talking to a lot of different news sources and going on. So maybe people trust in Dave and say, you know what, we're going to support Penn Games and we want to really support Barstool Sports. So hasn't broken trendline support. It's looking good. It's above almost just a little bit below the 12-day moving average, but overall it's looking great. I think this is a high risk, high reward play. If people really believe in Portnoy and what he's doing, then maybe this has a nice jump this week. So keep an eye on that. And for our final one, this one I don't like, but I think we're at this point where it would not be smart of me to not warn you guys about this. So this is shorting Triple Q. As you can see here, the trend line says it's above. It's been really tightly coiling. Things are moving up. It's been. I don't like shorting stocks because I feel like I'm rooting for a company to fail, but I'm not. It's just that, look at this. So let me take this off. Look how high it was just back in May. It was $60. It's now down to $12. That's how hard tech has been running. Triple Q is pretty much the NASDAQ index ETF, which has a lot of tech in it. And tech right now is a lot of people are getting a little concerned with the way the market is and the whole GameStop thing, and it's not great for the market, great for those retail investors versus hedge funds and the bears, but it has now crossed its resistance line. So that right there means it broke resistance. We need to see it keep breaking out, but this might be good to have, a few shares here just so you can still make some money if Triple Q does, this is the dip. I showed you the SPY chart. This could be it. So it might be good just to have that as a hedge. Just be careful. Don't put everything you own to it because if it ends up going down, that'll be bad. So I am in Triple Q because I do believe a drop is coming, and I believe tech is going to get hit hard. So just be aware of this. You don't have to. It might be wrong. I just think you should be aware of this, especially if you want to hedge. So just wanted to offer that up. It is high risk, high reward. So also, while we're all here, I also want to take a look at the NASDAQ. So if you look here, let's turn on the indicators. A little concerning. So these are set at 55 days. So that means it has now passed the 50-day moving average for the very first time. That's a concern. Let's look at the Dow. So the Dow here has passed the 55-day moving average. Okay, that's a concern. And then as I showed you earlier with the S&P 500, it has passed the 55-day moving average. So tech is still hanging on, but all three indices are past at least the 50-day moving average, and 2 out of 3 are past the 55-day. This is a time to be very careful, to not over-risk. This is not the time to throw everything you have into a stock pick and say, let's see what happens. Because you could lose everything from January. You could lose everything from 2020. So please, guys, be careful. I'm trying to give you my biggest warning that we're in a very odd time in the market, and it's best to, be a little careful, okay? All right, and so those are my stock picks of the week, my honorable mention, and my earning plays. I want to thank you guys for following me each week. I always try to reply back to your messages and answer any questions you may have. If there's anything else you want to ask, please just message me, comment, give me a follow. I really appreciate you guys. I will do everything I can to offer you all the information I can for free. I will never charge you guys or create a subscription. I really appreciate everything you guys do. Okay. Let's have a great week, and let's all be careful out there. All right. See you guys later. All right. Bye.